Hey Gemini, could you please configure a loopback 100 on device R3 using the description voice configured an IP address of 192.168.100.100/24 and enable the port? Thank you. Thank you so much, Gemini. Would you mind using show IP interface brief or show run or something and confirm you've configured the loopback? Thank you. Thank you, Gemini. That's awesome. Could we exit talk mode / talk stop? I'd like to go back to keyboard mode. Thank you. And now I'm back in text mode, right? So I'm not going to quit. Let's, I'm sure you're wondering now, how is that all pulled off? Like, that is pretty wicked. So I've made a voice MCP and a pyATS MCP, the one that's used for the network stuff, and the voice one is a voice MCP. I've decided to go this route because custom / commands and Python scripts run in a shell-locked PID process ID that can't share the output. As you can see though, I'm in a continuous mode now, an improvement I've made overnight, where we can talk, get the answer, talk back, get the answer, talk again. We can tell it I'd like to come out of this mode. Pretty exciting. So where do you want to get started? Let's go back to sharing the screen, and we're going to hop into GitHub /automate your network, and I have two repositories. The Gemini /talk, and this is the commands, and I'll be updating start with a pull request in just a minute. And the talk string to use to start talk mode, I'll be working on that as well. And the settings.json incorporate the MCP server. Now the MCP server is in the repositories under talk MCP for Gemini-CLI, has the requirements file on how to set up the virtual environment, and then you add it to your MCPs in Gemini-CLI this way. Test it on VS Code, or test it on WSL2 with Windows. And it's really, really exciting stuff. As you can see, we are talking to network devices with a microphone, with our voice. via MCP, via Gemini-CLI, and some custom code and slash commands that I've written. This is exciting. This is actually something where if you were a parent or if you were a caregiver or if you were able to type in just enough text, you could type Gemini YOLO /talk. I'm going to make an adjustment to get that whole string reduced to just /talk. Pretend it's /talk and just start talking. When you're done, when you want to move back to text mode or when you want to finish up, just tell it with your voice, I'm all done, can we go back into text mode or exit Gemini or whatever you want to say. Thought, words, action. No more keyboard. I think we all need to think about input and output and not necessarily the mode of input. For Gemini-CLI, it can be your keyboard. It can be files that you send it through /listen now. Or remote text that's generated not from the local keyboard. I started there with /listen. Now with /talk, we can use a microphone for that input, right? We want to democratize technology. And, children learn how to speak before they learn how to write or type, right? Aging adults would rather speak than type or write. People with carpal tunnel, people with physical disabilities, people with limited capabilities, people with ADHD, people with, other dyslexia and other forms of cognitive issues that they would rather be able to talk to technology. It's not that they're not smart. It's not that they're not intelligent. It's that the traditional means of pen and paper or keyboard don't adjust well enough to their own ability to speak, right? Anyway, I could keep going about this. I wanted to show you the demo up front and then talk about it after. There's a lot of accessibility here, and the fact that it just goes into a back and forth conversational mode is very, very powerful now, as opposed to having to invoke it for every voice thing you want to say. All I adjusted for this was the start.toml file. I did not have to touch my MCP. So I'm actually going to take my start and stop toml file and put them in to the main repo right now. Right? Conversational mode. And I'm going to merge that right into main. Alright, so now it's out there in the repo. So the repo links will be at the bottom of this video. Reach out to me on LinkedIn, reach out to me on Twitter, X,